Hello everybody and welcome to this episode where I'm going to show you the basics of formatting your sheets. So we've been playing around with the sheets so far, and mostly we've been looking at ones like this where we've just got kind of grey data everywhere. It's very plain, it's not overly easy to read. So I just want to go you through and show you some of the things that can help you read through big amounts of data like this. So the first thing I'm going to do is just show you through how you can change some of the styles in the cells. I'm going to change the headings up here. I'm going to make them bold by clicking on the bold icon. I'm going to change the color of them slightly, so I'm going to make them a light blue, and I'm just going to give them a background of dark blue. And now you can see that they look a lot more bold, and it's easier to recognize that they're headings and not actually fields within the data. You can see that some of the columns don't quite line up with the data, so I'm just going to highlight all of them, and I'm going to double click here on any one of these when the little double arrow comes up, and that's just going to automatically size all of those columns for me so that they fit the maximum size. You can also go through and just manually adjust them yourself if you want to as well. The next thing I'm going to do is adjust the grid line, so I'm just going to highlight all of my data by pressing Ctrl and A, and then I'm going to add some borders. So I'm just going to add borders all over, and what this does is just highlight that this is the area where my data should be. I actually want to make it go further down because when further data gets added, I want the formats to be the same. So I'm just going to highlight the columns and make the borders go all the way to the bottom. I don't want borders over on this section. You get these grayed out grid lines by default. These won't print out, or if you save as PDFs and things, then that they won't show. They're just there to help you while you're in the program. So if you want to turn those off, and I quite often do, because I think it looks better, you can go to View and then Grid Lines, and then that will turn those off. And you can see this looks a lot crisper, and you can add in columns, etc. Let's make it a plain column by copying one from over there, to just tidy things up and make things look a lot neater. So I'm just going to copy that across as well. So there you go. Now you can see this looks a lot crisper. I'm going to align the columns slightly better, so I think these will all look better if I align the text to middle, and now things look a little bit more lined up from my perspective. You might want the currency in accounting, so what a lot of people find is if it's over to the right, it's a lot easier to read because all of the decimal points line up with each other. And if you go to format number and accounting, it will make them all line up with each other, and it will put the pound sign all in line with each other as well. So you can make currency look a lot smarter like this. We also might decide that we don't actually want to see some of this information. So let's say that we decide that a client contact date is irrelevant, but I still want to keep it because I might want to go back to it eventually. We can actually go onto our column, right click and press hide, and that will hide the column. It is still there. You see we go straight from D to F, and if we click this button here, it will add it back in for us. You can do more than one, so let's say date and ID we both don't require, then you can right click here and put hide E to F, and it will hide both of them, and again you can click these to get them back again. So you can also do the same thing for rows. Let's say we want to hide some of our customers because they don't, or some of our clients because they don't exist anymore, but we do need to keep their information. You can right click on those and you can hide the rows as well. And you see it goes from 4 to 10, and we can click this to reveal them again. So hiding rows and columns can be pretty useful and helps tidy up your data quite a bit. Also, it's pretty useful as freezing panes. So when I scroll down, I'm going to lose my heading. So when I'm down here, I might not know which field relates to which heading. In this data, it's pretty clear, but in other data sets, say where you've got multiple dates, it's not. So we can get around this by selecting our headings at the top, go into View and Freeze. And if we put in up to current row, then it's going to put in this kind of grey bar underneath the row that I had highlighted. So I had the headings highlighted, And now when I scroll down, you see those 2 rows are going to freeze in place. You can also, there's a couple of other options in there. So view, freeze, you can freeze columns. So if I do one column, it will freeze the first column. And now when we scroll over to the left and right, it will keep that column there. Not so useful in this data, but if you had any column fields, it would be useful. And you can also do 1, 2 rows. So if I did 2 rows, it would put the freeze panes where it is. And we can turn it off by saying no rows just there. So now we no longer have any frozen panes. I'm just going to put that back in by doing the 2 rows. There's also quite a useful tool for conditional formatting a group of data such as this. So if you go to Format and Alternating Colors, it's going to come up with this window here. And you can choose various styles for your data like this. And you see it's automatically doing the heading at the top. And then it alternates the data from going white and to a colour. You can manually set these colours yourself, so we could go with some really garish colours, so green and turquoise, and now obviously it hurts your eyes a little bit to read it, so if we go back down to some kind of paler colours, and that's going to look a lot cleaner. So I've created a custom one now, but it looks disgusting, so let's just go back to one of the default ones. You'll notice it doesn't change the text colour, so I'm just going to set that back to a colour that I think works. There we go, so that looks a bit cleaner now. So that can be really helpful, and if you want to get rid of it, just click Remove Alternating Colours and it'll go back to the formatting that you had before. Finally, I just want to show you how you can use the Format Painter. So it's this tool up here. If you select a cell and then click on the Format Painter, and then you can select other areas to paint that same format in. So that's it for this tutorial. I just wanted to give you a quick overview of how you can make your data look a little bit smarter. I will be tidying up data in coming tutorials, so you'll get a feel for it. I would recommend when you go through and do your own tasks that you do take the time and effort to tidy up your data and make it look more aesthetically pleasing. It sounds like it's not necessary, and sometimes it isn't if you're not going to be showing anyone the data other than yourself. But if anyone else is going to be using it, it's really helpful for them to just see data set out in a nice, clear and crisp way. So that's it. Thanks for listening, and I hope to catch you in the next tutorial where we're going to start using formulas.